Jesus said, "Seek and ye shall find." And there's a Zen master named Tseeann who said, "Do not seek the truth, only cease to cherish opinions." At first glance, these two pieces of advice, these two teachings, can seem to contradict each other. But what if when Jesus was saying, "Seek and ye shall find," it wasn't an invitation, and it was more of just a statement that when we seek, we find? I've talked about this concept before, and I shared a quote from Seth Godin last time. The quote that says that people don't believe what you tell them, they rarely believe what you show them, they often believe what their friends tell them, and they always believe what they tell themselves. And this quote is about confirmation bias, and I think that quote really epitomizes the problem of confirmation bias. And I believe that confirmation bias is a massive problem among humanity. It's a huge problem, but I think that's only part of what Jesus and Seng-ts'an are saying here. I think that there might be another level to this. So if we combine the advice of Seng-ts'an and the teaching of Jesus, what I think the root of the problem is, it's not the seeking, but it is the attachment to the things that we find when we seek. When we are seeking truth, what we find we often label as truth. And when we label things as truth, they become strongly held opinions. And these opinions become cherished. And as we hold tightly to these opinions, they become obstacles for progress. Because these things might not even be truth. But since we were seeking truth when we found them, it was very easy to label that. I think these two proverbs, these two teachings, really open us up to the idea of confirmation bias, but also of this idea that when we seek something, we often find it. And when we're seeking truth, we label things as truth, and then we hold tight to those things. And so it's more than confirmation bias, it's the problem of certainty. Why would you seek more when you've already found it? Why would you learn more about a topic if you already have the truth or a strongly held opinion on that? Okay, what I'm trying to say here, in summary, is that when we seek truth, whatever we find will be labeled as truth. And the problem with that is that it's subjective truth, and there's not much difference between subjective truth and just a deeply held opinion. And so, I'm not saying that we can't trust our experience and that subjective truth isn't important. What I'm saying is that we should stop taking our experience so seriously, and if we're going to hold these strong opinions, hold them loosely. And all of this to say, I am not a biblical scholar, and I am not even a Buddhist. And so I'd love to know if you think there's something here too, or if I'm way off base. But for a good chunk of my life, I prided myself and brought on the identity of truth seeker. And so when I found this quote from Seng-ts'an, it made me pause, and it made me wonder if I was doing the right thing. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought about something from my background, from Jesus, from my Christian upbringing, and I thought there might be something here. And maybe there was nothing here. Maybe this is me just rambling. But, I have often considered myself a seeker of truth. And I think that has gotten in the way of my progress, because I have found things that have resonated very deeply with me and become deeply held opinions, cherished opinions, because I was seeking truth. But I think moving forward, I'm going to remove that label from myself, from my identity, and not be a truth seeker anymore, but more of just a seeker. Like I said, I'm not an expert in this, and this is me literally just reading two pieces of advice, two teachings from two separate traditions and combining them. And I love doing that, but who knows if I'm right. But if that was interesting or helpful or thought-provoking, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And if not, I'll just catch you in the next video.